Hello, welcome back to another episode of What's Up Doc. Today I'm talking about stress and self-care. As you know, dentistry is very physically demanding. We are bent over day in and day out, twisted in a certain angle, trying to reach in a very small field to fix whatever it needs to be fixed and care for whatever needs to be cared for. And according to statistics, which is very interesting stats that I heard the other day, is 30% of the caregivers end up passing away before the people that they care for. And that made me stop and think, because basically it makes sense, or I can see where this number is coming from because of the stress that we go through every single day and the physical stress, mental, emotional, juggling life, just like any profession that involves taking care of people, basically. But that number was astonishing. I did not expect it to be that high, 30%. And you can Google it, check it out. Don't quote me. I heard it from a lecture, a motivational lecture that's talking about, self-care and how to deal with stress, especially if you are a caregiver for somebody else or you are in the public, field. So that was an eye-opener. And I kind of know how much this profession, special dentistry, takes a toll on your body because you age with it, whether you start early in the profession or late in the profession. And I always say that dentists are just like athletes. They do start very young. An established dentist by age 35, fully established, that's very young. And if you continue practicing up to 65, that's 30 years of bent over day in and day out. And the average dentist works, I think, 3 days a week. It's very rare for them to work 5 days a week because of the demand, the physical demand of the profession. So it's very important to take care of yourself. Self-care, which we never learn in dental school. We stumble upon it if, God forbid, something happens to you. We stumble upon it when you get hurt, like pull your lower back or pull your shoulder or you get a rotated cuff or tendinitis in your wrist, or your wrist stops working or your thumb stops working. I've seen it all, basically. When that happens, then that's when we end up stopping, slowing down, start taking care of ourselves. It doesn't change the fact that you are already injured and you have built scar tissue. And this old injury comes back to haunt you when your body ages. So if you got hurt at work from working too much, bent over all day long, and you don't exercise, or you don't take care of yourself, you don't sleep well, or you don't just stay active, movement, massages, yoga, flexing, stretching, rolling, all that self-care stuff, then that old injury will represent itself later in life. And sometimes you can fix it, or sometimes you can't fix it and you might need surgery. And that's when it gets even more stressful, because when you are in the height of your career in your 40s and your 50s, that's when your body starts aging. And then you don't have time to stop because you just finally enjoying your career, the fulfillment of your profession. It happens in your 40s and your 50s. But at the same time, that's when your body starts breaking down, or old injuries comes back to haunt you. So again, just like everything else, preventative, I think, is the best thing to do to make sure that your body ages well with you as you continue your career, as you continue practicing. Self-care is not only physical. Self-care is not only again, working out or moving or traveling or self-care is really seeking hobbies, seeking things that you are interested in outside of the field, outside of dentistry, because you're in dentistry is very repetitive, and it's very technique sensitive. It can definitely brings the worst out of us as far as being very OCD, very analytical, very obsessive compulsive. And because of the nature of the techniques and the delicacy of the steps and the tools and the procedures that we use all day, every day. Not only that, we are caregivers because, as I mentioned in my other videos, we do navigate through a lot of emotions, a lot of psychology, and that is draining in so many episodes or instances. But, we take care of autistic kids, we take care of elderly, we take care of, patient that has high fear and anxiety. It's the taboo of being scared of the dentist. It's very common. It's very popular. We are trying to change that. It's going to take a long time to change the experience in the dental clinic or the dental practices. So as a healthcare provider, we need to make sure that we take care of ourselves. And we need to make sure that when the day is over, we are not left with a rebel of just achiness and inflammation and breakdown. And we need to make sure that we are taken care of very well, so we can continue taking care of the patients, our team, and teaching and mentoring, and that's another part of dentistry. It's not only doing the dentistry, it's not only executing the treatment, it's also educating, whether it's patient, like I said, or team member, or a new associate, a young dentist. We are constantly teaching the ways, constantly training on new technologies, something new, something better to serve the patient and make our team, help our team enjoy their job by introducing new technologies. So we have to learn that too and teach that too. So I know I'm weaving a huge web of like, not, challenges as far as, like I said, a healthcare provider. And I'm sure nursing, MDs, physical therapy, therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, they go through that also. And it's very important, again, to make sure that you don't get lost when you are right in the racetrack of getting your career together and living and producing and making that money and taking care of a family and owning a house. And don't get lost in that and neglect yourself. And that's one of the things that I stumbled on early in my career, maybe because when I graduated, I was 30. I was a little bit older, not as young as some of the new graduates. But when I started my career, I noticed that it's just it's very physically demanding, and dawned on me that, what am I going to do when I get older? Like, how am I going to, recover every single time my body goes through such a intensified labor, again, physically, mentally, emotionally. So what I would like to have you guys take away from today's video is make sure you have a plan. Make sure that you have time for yourself. Make sure that you have a self-care session almost every single week, away from everything and away from everybody. I know we love our family, we love our spouse, we love our kids, but you need that time especially if you're practicing full time, you need that time, or working full time, taking care of people, you need that time to recover and recoup. And there's nothing like investing in the now in order to make sure that your body lasts you post-retirement or post-middle age, because that's where you start noticing the breakdown and the slowdown, and the turnover is not as fast. The recovery is not as fast as it used to be. So anyways, I just wanted to share this with you. I hope this enlightenment helps some of my colleagues and my healthcare providers or healthcare workers. And I just wanted to, share, my experience and my advice that I had from whether mentors or my parents and, other colleagues. So I'm out of time again. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.